ballgame. The Padres won in 12 innings, 4-3. Ian Desmond almost won one for the boys last night. Whether it's at home, on the road, left field, right center, left center, this guy's doing a bang-up offensive job. Right now, Ian Desmond leading the Nats with 12 home runs, 35 RBIs, 10 batted in his last 13 games. By visitAnnapolis.org. Find it here. And by Navy Federal Credit Union. 4 million members, 4 million stories. Navy Federal Credit Union. Quite a day in San Diego. Beautiful. 72 degrees at game time. Visit trainsearch.com to find your local train comfort specialist dealer. It's hard to stop a train. Really hard. Padres will have their camos on today. The Nats in their road reds. Some curly W's in the ballpark. And Dan Coco has injury. Nothing major here, Dan, but a couple of mildly concerning things injury-wise this weekend.
That's right, Bob, and we'll start with Anthony Rendon, and you say nothing serious. That's obviously the good news. No fractures in that hand. He got hit on by a grounder on that right hand the other night. Out of the lineup again today, but he did some hitting in the cage before the game, which is a good sign. He said the hand still felt a little sore, which is why he's held out again today. But it's good that he was able to take some swings today and that it wasn't feeling too bad. Jason Worth, we saw him yesterday shaking out that left wrist, which he broke back in 2012. He said that he called it kind of comparable to a stinger in the wrist. That's the best way that he could describe it. Something that he got coming back from that wrist injury in 2012 a handful of times, and he didn't have it at all last year. He's not really sure why it comes on, but when he fouled off a pitch, he really felt it kind of sting in that wrist. He was shaking it out, but he said it dissipated over the course of the game, and he says that he's fine. Not really anything too concerning going forward.
That's good news. Well, Worth in the lineup today. Rendon, as Dan said, not. Adam LaRoche does considerable career damage against the Padres. And in this series, LaRoche only one hit, but he's been on base 4 times. And that on-base percentage continues to go up, up, up. Right in the neighborhood of about 420 right now. So the Nats are 8th in the league in hitting, 7th in runs, and they take on Eric Stoltz. He's 1-0, 2.03 in 2 career starts against Washington.
Yeah, you look at the repertoire. Fastball 52% of the time at 87. He keeps the ball down, but he can elevate it with 2 strikes. He tries to get you to chase up. The slider 79, curveball 68, changeup 79. But the Nats have been very good. You see the opponent average 309. Nats love lefties. They've been successful this year, letting the ball get deep, going up the middle, going the other way, not trying to pull guys with good changeups, and Stoltz has a good changeup. Said the defense for the Padres behind Stoltz today. Quentin Maben-Smith, your outfield. Cabrera Headley, left side. Emerista Alonso, right side. And Yasmani Grandal behind the plate.
Jordan Baker, second year of seniority in the National League umpiring ranks. has the plate. Jerry Meals, the crew chief, he's out at second. Paul Emmel, third base side. Angel Campos, first base side.
Big game today. I mean, you'd love to get 2 out of 3. Heading into San Francisco, who's playing as good as anybody in baseball. Better than anybody in baseball.
Yeah, they had another late night win last night over the Mets. Jordan Zimmerman set to go, hoping for some support early here. Denard Span stepping in. In this series, Denard 1 for 9 with a walk in game 1. Got a base hit in the 8th inning last night. Still batting .357 over his last 9 games. Stoltz ready. They're in at the corners. And this one is underway. 4:12 Eastern, 1:12 out here in San Diego, where it is absolutely perfect. Right on the corner with 89. Denard Span against this left-hander, 2 for 6 career with a walk. So there he is with that .357 last 9, averaging about 3 hits every 2 games, scoring some runs. He's had some extra base hit power as well.
And Denard Span's been grinding it out too, in there every single day, top of the order. First man in. Trying to set the tone early once again.
Facing a 34-year-old left-hander with a career record of 29 and 32. 85th career start for Stoltz. And a jam Span here. He missed his spot, and that was close to being a strike on the other side of the plate. Padres play Denard as much to the offside in the outfield as anybody we've seen. Probably 50 feet toward the gap. Cameron Maben, the center fielder. And Span will take it out between right and center. It's on the ground. He's trying to make it into a double, and he is there. So with the center fielder playing all the way over on the other side, Denard turns a bag into 2.
Hey, you're looking out there, and if he hit one over Jerry Meals' head where he was standing, the second base umpire, it might have been a home run. I mean, they were shifted so far over. As soon as this ball gets through the infield, you're thinking leadoff double for Denard Span, and he was thinking the same thing right out of the box. So an exaggerated shift hurts the Padres here in the top of the first inning, and there goes the no-hitter Denard Span style. And that's how this one starts.
Well, last night the Nats had something going in the first inning. Had a runner picked off third. Kevin Franzen steps in. He was that guy after getting a base hit. So now they've got a chance to do damage again. Span started running and then stopped. And then the pitch outside. Franzen 1 for 5 last night.
Kevin changing the look, going with the high socks today.
And again, infielders in at the corners. And Franzen showing bunt. That's close. Ball 2. So much changes when that leadoff guy gets on.
It does. You can see Stoltz thinking about it. I like the idea by Franzen. There's nothing wrong with being up 1-0 after 1. Trying to move Span along.
And now 3-0. That was interesting. Jason Worth is only about 30 feet from home plate. Held up his left hand. He's the one who told Span to stay at second. Well, Franzen was busy getting out of the way.
When you're Jason Worth, you can make your own on-deck circle, even if it's almost in the batter's box.
Yeah, he's halfway from the on-deck circle to home plate. Although I have noticed the Padres put the visitors on-deck circle much closer to their dugout than the home side. Things configured a little bit differently here.
Can you have 2 guys up at once?
Well, I think the pitcher should pitch to the one that's in the box.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Span is running on 3-0, and he is in there under the throw after strike one.
Run till they tag you.
That's number 9 for Denard.
I'm telling you, I love the 3-0 steal. Nobody ever thinks about it. Nobody ever looks you back. They very rarely pick to first, never pick at second. You look at the jump by Span. Stoltz very delivered to the plate. He's trying to throw strike one, and now Kevin Franzen has a chance not to move Denard Span, but to drive him in. Love the aggressive play right here by the Nats and Denard Span. Nicely done.
Yeah, hard into the bag with that left spike. So 9 out of 11, Denard now. Grandal made that play pretty close. I thought there was no chance at all. On a 3-1, there's an RBI ground ball to the shortstop because Span just went to third. And that ball would have been hit in front of him at second base.
Well,
he probably would have had to stay.
You can't say that because Kevin Franzen wouldn't have tried to hit the ball to shortstop if Span was on second. He tried to move the runner. Right. I mean, if you're up there and Denard's on second, he's going to try to push the ball to the right side. But the whole at-bat changes by the fact that Denard Span stole third. Now, with the infield back, you're just trying to play pepper and score the run. He did. 1-0 Nats. Nicely done.
Ten over 500 when they score first. Here's Worth. And this one short right field. Amarista. I was wondering if Jason Worth had a right field idea because I saw him in the on deck circle. A time or two he turned around and looked straight up into the sun, and it's coming in from the right side. Not that that influences what you're going to do with the at bat, but the guy is so aware of everything going on around him.
Great yard. Great look at what we look at. It's almost our exact view.
Here's Adam LaRoche. On base percentage skyrocketing, 418. A base hit and 3 walks in this series.
He's got that funk going around the Nats clubhouse. Feeling a little bit better today. Yesterday he could hardly talk. Today his voice is actually deeper, but he said he feels much better. But he did not look good yesterday in batting practice. Pale as a ghost. Played anyways and grinding it out again today.
And this one high in the air, short center. Off the shift, Cabrera, the shortstop out there. And the Nats will get a run. Span, the double, the steal, the Franzen ground ball. Jordan Zimmerman has an early run. Happened. The Nats on the board early in this rubber game. Padres are hitting .220, last in the league in that and in runs. Second from the bottom in home runs, but they got a big one from Yonder Alonso last night. 25 home runs in parts of 5 big league seasons. One of his career home runs against Jordan Zimmermann.
Well, I see the arsenal for Jordan. Fastball's averaging 94 miles an hour. Slider at 86. Curveball 78. Changeup at 87. Coming off probably his best start of the year. 8 shutout innings against the Phillies. Nats won that game 7-0. Struck out 4, walked 1 through 102 pitches. So 54 strikeouts versus just 14 walks for Jordan Zimmermann. I saw this number before the game. He's not walked more than a pair of hitters in 22 consecutive starts. The longest active streak in the majors. That's pound the zone.
Cabrera getting around late. That's a lookout over on the left side. Jordan had gone 2 consecutive starts. April 14th at Miami. And then the 19th against St. Louis. 1 a win, 1 a loss. Hadn't gone 7 since until he went those 8 great innings at 102 pitches against the Phillies. Had one of his career complete games here a couple of years ago. And the fastball rides high, 1-2.
That stat we just showed with the walks too is what gets Jordan in trouble sometimes. He throws so many strikes as a hitter. You go up there hacking, and that's why he has to be so precise with the fastball. It's not about just throwing strikes. It's about throwing quality strikes.
And Everett Cabrera is still trying to hit the high fastball in the 3rd game of this series.
Yeah.
He is 0 for 10.
Nice execution right there by Jordan. And I think as you develop as a pitcher and you mature, you learn how to throw balls as well when you want to, and that's something that Jordan's been working on. This is a perfect example. Elevated fastball to Cabrera, who chased Tanner Roark's high fastball 3 times on Friday for 3 different strikeouts.
Yeah, he is 0 for 10 in this series with 4 swinging strikeouts on high fastballs. And their leadoff guy overall 0 for his last 13. Here's Seth Smith. A couple of hits in this series, batting .302. And that's near the trademark and out of play, left field side. And made a nice catch. Well done, sir.
Nicely done.
Use both hands.
Should have brought your glove, but that's all right.
Now he needs to give it to a kid to make it a perfect play. That's on the corner. 0-2 to Seth Smith. 1 for 7 career with a double and a walk against Jordan Zimmermann. He is a monster at home, as good as anybody in the league just about. That's the 5th highest average by a hitter in the National League, and the 3rd highest by one who doesn't play for Colorado. We'll see if he can keep pace with the great Gwynn when it comes to an entire season. 1-2, pitch away. Jordan Zimmermann getting ahead and then not throwing the ball down the middle.
He is on pace to strike out 27 Padres today. Look at this pitch. Watch the command. 95 right on the black. And that's what I'm talking about. Quality strikes for Jordan when he's to a corner, keeping the ball down as good as anybody in baseball.
That'll bring in Carlos Quentin. That is a 94 heater off the plate inside. Well done.
There's your defense. Ryan left field. Denard, Jason, Ian Kevin, Danny Adam, and Jose. See the last names.
Right? I think yeah, that's great. You're on a first name basis with all those guys.
So tight.
Ryan Zimmermann reading it, running over and making the grab. And nothing going on that would be a concern for Ryan Zimmermann in his first 5 games in left field. 1-2-3 first after the other Zimmermann got the lead.
by Denard Span. Great at bat, 2-strike approach, slaps it in right center, a hustle double. So Denard Span goes, so do the Nats, and then with nobody out, Denard gets a good jump and steals third base. You never want to make the first out at third, but if you make it, it's a great play, and it allows Kevin Franzen to spread out, hit the ball to shortstop, and put the Nats up 1-0. You can definitely steal third base with nobody out, but you just have to make it, and Denard did.
Zimmerman, Desmond, Espinoza, top of the second. Right in this series, 1 hit, an RBI attached to it. Stoltz on the corner. STG Inc. takes us inside the numbers. Career against the Padres. Nobody has slugged better. Only 2 have better on-base percentage plus slugging. Homer every 11 at-bats or so. And the RBI is very frequent as well. So 2 of the hitters that have given the Padres headaches over the years in town, batting back-to-back, LaRoche and Zimmerman. Target in. Off speed. That was interesting. Chase Headley moved over toward the line, and then the ball went to his left. I don't know if he saw the off-speed pitch or knew it was coming. That was interesting.
Well, that's a good point. And we really don't talk about this. Shortstops are looking in at signs. So Everett Cabrera sees the off-speed pitch, and what you do is you tell your third baseman when it's coming. So the third baseman knows there's a chance he might get the baseball on a slow off-speed pitch. You usually do it with soft-tossing guys. And it's something as little as and you let your third baseman know that off speed's coming, he'll move to the line. It's exactly what happened right there. So there's always communication between the shortstop and the third baseman. That's why I moved over.
There's Desmond. Where do you move for this guy?
Sometimes it's tough to hear it. Yeah. But when I played third, I always turn to my shortstop. Let me know off speed. Got to know when off speed was coming. See, he probably went. That's all it takes, and he moves over, and there's a base hit. You like that sound of that? But that's what you do. It's easier to hear with the crowd. Sometimes they just say, hey, dummy, here comes a curveball. I took offense to that, but whatever.
Desmond hits one a ton out to center. Did he get enough? May have been watching it, and Ian Desmond has done it again. Straight away in this park for the second straight game. The Nats, 3-0.
Just so much pop. The power display by Nats hitters. Anthony Rendon and Ian Desmond this series. 13th hitter of the year. There's Jose Lobaton taking off his helmet. Last night, 437 feet. The longest home run at Petco Park this season. And today he follows it up with this bomb to put his ball club up by 3. My goodness, he's making this park look small.
And then just as we go out of that replay, here comes Espinoza. A lot of guys love to look first pitch after a home run thinking it's a get-ahead fastball. And Danny Espinoza makes it 3 hits in a row.
Check the home run again. Short, compact swing, letting it get deep. And the Nats have just absolutely destroyed left-handed pitching this year. 280 average against lefties, and it's continuing here today. Danny Espinoza with the base hit. Look at last 5 hits. How'd that double get in there?
Yeah, somebody kept him in the park once, Dan. How about the power of Desmond lately?
Teammates and coaches have been raving about Desmond's shot last night that went out to dead center, a little bit right of center, actually. Kevin Franzen, who played the first 5 years of his big league career in the NL West, said he's only seen a couple balls hit that far here at Petco. They were off the bat of Barry Bonds. Jason Worth was most impressed that Desmond took the ball to the right of center field, didn't hit it to the pull side, and Randy Knorr was marveling at that shot this morning before joking. Reminded me of a young Randy Knorr.
Yeah, before the accident.
Yeah, Randy in Syracuse maybe for Toronto. Wow, some power. Lobaton batting 8th. There's nobody out here in the second. The Nats have already put a stamp on this one early. And they got one of their best pitchers going, and he only threw 10 pitches in the first inning. Washington, by the way, now 1 homer away from 60 on the year. And this is game number 61. Lobaton locked up, and he's gone for the first out. That'll bring in Jordan Zimmerman, an outstanding bunter. So up by 3. How does Matt Williams play it? This will be interesting.
Found out a lot about Matt Williams' managing style last night with Nate McLouth up. And we let him swing away with the leadoff man aboard. I think, what was it, the 10th inning?
That ball is picked up foul.
I think it was the 10th.
McLouth had, I'm finding it here. It was Espinosa dumped one, into left center, and then McLouth came up after him in the 10th. Nate hit into a 5-4. Nats went out quickly, didn't get another hit the rest of the game, and the Padres able to play a base hit, a walk, and a bloop single into a game winner. Jordan went stabbing at that ball and was way outside. So it's now 0-2.
There's Nate. Chilling on a Sunday afternoon in San Diego.
How about this bench now? And of course, Rendon not usually there. It's Franzen, but Hairston, Dobbs, McLouth, some of the best guys in that role in the game. And something is preventing Jordan Zimmerman from seeing Stoltz very well. I'm not sure I've ever seen him stab at 2 bunt attempts on pitches that far away.
No, I haven't either. Usually fantastic at it. Not an all-star attempt, but could get there as a pitcher, not a bunter. 2014 MLB All-Star Game, July 15th at Target Field of Minneapolis. You can vote at least 21 times. Why 21? And select the Nationals as your favorite club to be eligible to receive 50% off discount offer. 2 tickets to a select Nats home game. Vote early, vote often, and be sure to vote Nats. 21 times, Cart, not 22.
That's a lot. Denard Span, and they're playing him not as far to left center this time with Maben. He's maybe 15, 20 feet closer to the middle of the field than he was in that ball that went right through where Jerry Meals, the umpire, is at second base.
I would love to hear the Padres broadcast of Mark Grant, because he asked me before the game, what kind of athlete is Jordan Zimmerman? I said, wide receiver in high school, fields his position great, swings it, great bunter.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he said that before Jordan chased those balls outside. Hey, everybody's human. It's not as easy as it looks.
And the ball can be tougher to see under these conditions. And Span will hit that ball solidly out to right center, but it's going to be Maben going over to grab it. So the Nats strike early in the top of the second with a Zimmerman base hit. Another Ian Desmond monster shot. 13 homers, 37 RBIs. Look out, Troy Tulowitzki. Here comes Desmond.
off pizza. With a Nats win, everyone wins. All season long, when the Nats win and score 7 or more runs, you get 50% off regular menu prices at papajohns.com by entering promo code NATS50. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, official pizza of Ian Desmond.
Yeah, Papa John's, as in pop.
As in big pop.
Here's Chase Headley. Zimmerman a strike thrower in this one so far, and he's ahead. 11 pitches, 9 strikes. Headley an RBI last night, 2 for 9 in the series. 3 for 16 career with 5 punch-outs against Jordan Zimmerman. Four, 5, 6 for San Diego. Headley, Alonso, Grandal.
You think that with the power numbers alone, Ian Desmond could represent the Nationals in Minneapolis? Or does he need to get the average up a little bit before the selection? As a coach's pick, of course.
Yeah. Well, it might depend on, there's strike 3. Headley doesn't like it. Might depend on who else from the ball club, is a candidate to be an all-star. Yeah, it's a great question. 3 Ks out of 4 batters. Nissan tracks this.
Well, a little curveball from Jordan, backed up a hair. Good frame by Lobaton to buy the call.
There's Yonder Alonso, who kept the Nats from being in a sweep position today.
And you got Tulowitzki. And power numbers, that guy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, the bat goes into the seats, having broken in half, and then the out is made. And that thing went almost straight back. The screen here is not very wide, and it went flying by the edge of the screen and went about 20 rows up. Oh.
That gives you an idea of the stuff that Jordan's featuring here today. Just an absolute saw job right there. And I don't know what you got on your Fujita scale for severe damage, but that's above severe damage.
Yeah. Wow. And I got to tell you, my eyes were distracted by that bat helicoptering into the seats with that big edge on the broken bottom of it. 4-3 on that play.
I didn't even know where to put out when I was watching the bat.
I wrote down 4, but it's 4-3. Ball did hit the ground. It was popped right over the mound. So 2 outs. Yasmani Grandal, the catcher. 25-year-old, like Yonder Alonso, native of Cuba. And that is paint on the outside corner. Jordan Zimmerman hitting edges, throwing strikes, quality strikes, with a 3-run lead.
strike and then rings up Yasmani Grandal. So maybe turn up your TVs a little bit. Listen. So he says strike 3. Did you hear it? And then he rings him up. Tim McClellan does the same thing. He has a very delayed strike call. But what he does is he lets the catcher and the hitter know verbally before he gives the sign. Jordan Baker, the tallest umpire in the big leagues, I think at 7'8", verbalized it, then called it.
Seeing balls and strikes on the corners from Zimmerman with the shades on today. Franzen, Worth, and LaRoche top of the third. Off-speed pitch misses away. Kevin Franzen, RBI ground ball to short, first time. And he pulls that one backhand side off the glove of Headley. Franzen's going to round the base big at first, but Cabrera over there to help out. Sharply hit ball, backhand side. You would think it's a hit.
Well, real speed. That's the way you should look at it if you're the official scorer. I already put hit. And they put hit now, too. Kevin Franzen checking in with a knock.
That's 5 base hits already. Only 6 out registered by Stoltz. Here's Jason Worth, who early in his AB popped up short right field first time to the second baseman. On the corner.
So people are telling me you can vote 25 times for the All-Star game. And I remember that being the number last year.
That's online, right?
Yes.
Because you can punch out 1,000,000 cards if you have the time, if you do it that way. Look at Worth reach out, hit that ball solidly out to left center. Franzen checks in at second base, and the Nats are threatening to blow this one open early. The big guns are coming up.
Yeah, the old saying, hit it like he throws it. Change up. Jason Worth staying on it. Little extendo swing. Seen that many times. Wrist doing fine. Base hit. First and second. Nobody out.
And Worth is now hit safely in 10 of his last 11 games with 14 hits. Adam LaRoche popped to short first time. On the shift, it was short center field. Lefty-lefty matchup. And that slow curve, 67 miles an hour. Gravity took over and it dropped out of the strike zone. LaRoche's 2 for 9 career against this southpaw.
That's nothing like the curveball he saw from you, Darvish. 59.
That thing hasn't arrived at home plate yet. That game was a week ago. Well, former starter Tim Stauffer. Long man warming up. That is in there. For the most part, lefties haven't been his problem this year. But the overall opponent's batting average 309, so that tells you right-handers have been crushing Eric Stoltz.
Now, before all the sabermetrics and the numbers, as a player, I used to look at 3 things: batting average against and strikeouts versus walks. It tells you really all you need to know as a hitter, especially a guy to get on base, what you need to know. And every time you would see a guy in 270 range, batting average against or above, you're thinking, well, he gives up a lot of hits and his stuff can't be that good. And if you saw a guy with a lot of walks, well, I'm going to take some pitches and get into a count. Yeah.
2-2 after he just missed. And LaRoche with a base hit to left. Easy for Franzen to read that one. He scores without a play. The Nats lead 4-0, and the line is moving here in the third inning. 3 consecutive singles. They had 3 straight hits last inning.
Tim Franzen getting some high fives back in the dugout. Adam LaRoche feeling better today, and now he's feeling a lot better with a base hit. Just a little fillet off the end of the bat to left field. Nicely done, and that's where the 300 hitters live. It's the biggest difference in LaRoche this year to last is he's using the whole field. You pitch him away, he hits it away, and he's taking his hits.
Second hit of the series. He's been on base 5 times. Here's Ryan Zimmerman, his solid single to left. Got Stoltz off the stretch last inning, and then he gave up that monster home run to Ian Desmond. 4-7-0 Washington already. Top of the 3rd inning. And pretty good paint job on the outside corner. 1-1.
It's still early in this ball game. Nats up 4-0, but you have to love the resiliency in this ball club. Just a punch to the gut loss last night. They thought they had a win, turned into a loss, and they bounce right back with a day game after a night game and drop a 4 spot early.
Low. Zimmerman lays off the breaking ball.
I've been around a lot of clubs too, and they've had some tough losses this year. And just being in the clubhouse the next day, they're a one day at a time ball club. You could never tell they lost a tough game last night by the way the clubhouse was today and the way it is after tough losses all the time.
Wow, what a batting eye for Zimmerman during this AB. Nobody out, 3 consecutive hits, and a 3-1 count to Zimmerman, who, as we noted earlier, has done so much damage against the Padres in his career. Home run every 11.38 at bats. And he's thinking right field with a long ball there, but it's foul.
All week long, Masson is giving you a chance to win tickets to Ryan Zimmerman's A Night at the Park. You have to go. It's an amazing evening. Billy Currington, Jared Neiman. Check out Masson Nationals on Twitter, Facebook to find out how you can win and help support Zim's Foundation. And its fight against multiple sclerosis. My favorite night of the year.
Target away. Ballpark quiet. Zimmerman serves it over there. Runners do a good job of staying home. Worth back to second. LaRoche back to first.
Jason Worth, one of the better base runners in the National League. The old adage, low line drive, you go back on a line drive. And that's exactly what Jason Worth did. Sees it low, doesn't freeze, he goes back and beats it easily. Pretty good at bat by Ryan Zimmerman, too, going with the pitch.
Good swings all around, and here he comes again. Ian Desmond in this series, 2 homers, 4 RBIs.
2 homers that should have counted for 4. Trying to hit 3 right there.
Inside the numbers with STG Inc. So Desmond leading the Nats infield to 41 of their 59 home runs. Danny Espinosa has 6. Adam LaRoche has 8. And of course Rendon the majority of the time at third base this year. He already has a new career high with 9. And Desmond right side off the glove of one fielder and another. Worth rounding third, slides to a stop and comes back. He had no way of knowing the throw was going to be offline. Another base hit for Desmond, going the other way this time. Bases loaded, 1 out.
I mean, it's a pinball machine right here. Ball bouncing all over the place. A nice piece of hitting by Ian Desmond. Got to score that a base hit. Off 1 glove, off 2 gloves. Jason Worth screaming around third base. He stops. And off 3 gloves. Pinball machine.
Jason this is not the pitching coach coming out. Buddy Black to the mound. Danny Espinosa, who's been great from the right side lately, and the Nats have knocked out Eric Stoltz after 2 1/3. This call to the bullpen packaged by the UPS Store. Your one-stop shop for all your small business needs. Let us handle your mailbox service needs. We love logistics. Tim Stauffer on the way.
Time for you to tweet your photo. You know the drill. And if you have a hat like that, wow, I don't think you're going to make it on the broadcast. Yeah, that's taking the whole Kentucky Derby lid to a whole new level. That's brought to you by AT Tweet us your photo. If I'm sitting behind her, I am not a happy camper. Yeah, that girl right there, she can't see a thing.
Well, could be worse. She could be sitting next to her.
Put an eye out with that thing.
Tim Stauffer was one of the stars of that game on April 24th when the Padres beat the Nats in 12 innings. He came out of the bullpen, pitched 2 1/3 innings of scoreless relief, kind of settled down their ball game for them and enabled them to score late to beat the Nats at Nationals Park.
Right, he's hitting .321.
So there's a long way to go in this one, and maybe for Tim Stauffer as well.
Sink the fastball, cut it. He's got a curveball and change to go with it. Fastball in the low 90s.
Yeah. Buddy Black didn't want to see Danny Espinosa batting right-handed against Stoltz. How about the left side? This is going to drive in at least one. LaRoche coming around. He looks up and sees the throw cut off, and the Nats have made it 6-0. And Danny Espinosa has driven in 3 runs in this series.
Danny Espinosa's locking it in, folks. First pitch, all over him, base hit to right. And I love Bob Henley seeing that Seth Smith stayed back on that ball. Adam LaRoche probably wouldn't have sent him right there with just 1 out, but because Seth Smith, you say it 4 times fast, didn't charge it, it allowed Henley to score LaRoche.
Lobatone hits a double play ball. 4-6-3, inning over. But the Nats strike in the top of the 3rd for 5 base hits. RBIs from LaRoche 1, Espinosa 2. Well, Jordan Zimmerman, plenty of run support. In fact, plenty in the first 2 innings. Now the Nats have added 3 more. 6-0. That's better than building a picket fence with a run each inning. So here we go, bottom 3. Jordan's faced only 6 men. Maben, Amarista, and Stoltz. Bottom of the 3rd.
It's going to get harder for the offense to keep doing that, I'm just saying.
It's a tough pace.
Yeah. That 9-run ninth might be tough.
Time of the game, 5 hours and 12 minutes.
Yeah, I'll stay in San Diego longer. I'm fine with that.
And Zimmerman just missing, low and inside. Beautiful day in San Diego. 2 o'clock local time. Hope you are fine back home. Bob FP and Dan here before we head on to San Francisco for 4 starting tomorrow night with Steven Strasburg and Ryan Vogelsong. Zimmerman, first 2 innings identical. 10 pitches, 8 strikes each inning. And now he's 1-2 on Cameron Maben. Chopper. Here comes Desmond with the bare hand. And the pick by LaRoche. Outstanding on both ends.
Outstanding. I mean, does it get any better than that? I mean, I was talking to Larry Bowe the other day about Adam LaRoche. He was raving about having LaRoche as your first baseman. And the former shortstop was saying, you just throw it over there and you know he's going to pick it. And what a luxury that is for infielders. An amazing play by Desmond, but that is a nasty in-between hop that I'm saying the majority of first basemen in baseball do not pick. That ball had hair all over it. He threw it hard. It was a short hop. So a great play by Desmond, and I think an even better play by LaRoche on the back end. That was a very difficult pick. Nicely done.
Here's Alexi Amarista, the second baseman, batting 8th. And Zimmerman just getting ahead of everybody. Target in.
Chase to high one. Do you go higher?
You don't have to throw him a strike. He's already done that a couple of times today. Gotten guys 2 strikes. Gets him out off the plate. Happened to the very first hitter, Cabrera. And a breaking ball that Amarista stays with. How a 6-0 deficit looks to the Padres in this park. You would have to ask them. But a 6-0 lead in this park gives a pitcher a chance to get into high gear. And the 0-2. Did he go? No, says Paul Emmel.
Good idea. Tried to elevate after the curveball down the dirt, and you make the call. Tough to elevate to a guy as short as Amarista.
Over to Adam LaRoche on the right side. To Zimmerman. 3-1.
Boy, 6 runs makes you think of a burger, doesn't it? The Nationals Beltway Burger Pack includes a ticket, burger, fries, and a drink starting at just $20 for Thursday and Friday home games. Purchase your tickets online. Nationals.com/burger pack.
Well, Tim Stauffer getting some at-bats. 150 career hitter coming into this season. He had an at-bat against the Nats that day in D.C. On the season, out of the bullpen, he's 1 for 4. Made 31 starts for the Padres just 3 years ago. Some injury problems since then, and now working out of the bullpen. 1-2. Looked like he held up. Zimmerman's 13th start of the year. Just not used to seeing this guy with a 3.5 ERA and an opponent's batting average of 290 or so. Those are going down every time he goes out. Stauffer, a pretty good rip. Right below us and then deflecting downstairs.
I was on that. So on that. Got a good jump. I was playing him perfect.
Well, there's a little deck about 6 feet below us here, right in front, where fans get to sit with a counter. And there was a really good looking bowl of ice cream down there in serious jeopardy for a moment.
I mean, I was shading him this way. I was in 2-strike. Kind of played him the other way. I was right there.
You're more straight away than Span is right now. He's playing to the offside.
Souvenir.
And Stauffer. Did he go that time? No.
He's having the best at bat of the day so far for the Padres.
Well, Obadone had to reach. Now there's the strikeout. So first 3 innings, Jordan Zimmerman plowing through the Padre lineup like a Wisconsin Badger. The Nats by 6.
The first 3 innings, 6-0. Denard Span got the party started with a double. Ian Desmond, a 2-run homer. But we're going to let you listen to some knocks, some base knocks. And there's been a lot of them today. 9 so far. Next one's a far one. It's a far knock, a.k.a. Tater. So Ian Desmond with 2 hits. Danny Espinoza with 2 hits. Zimmerman, LaRoche, Worth, Franzen, Span, all with base hits.
Jordan Zimmerman, left side. Deep short, Cabrera. And he got him on a good play against a pitcher who can run the bases. Well done by Everett Cabrera.
Well, you're thinking Jordan Zimmerman's about to join the party right here with a little 5.5 action. A place where Tony Gwynn made it famous. Nice play by Cabrera going in the hole. To just get Jordan Zimmerman.
Top of the order, Denard Span, 1 for 2, a double, a steal, a run. Fly ball to center, second time up.
Taking his time getting in there after his pitcher just hustled down the line.
Yeah, 6-0 game. Maybe it's just as well that Jordan's in the dugout, getting a breather. And a fastball is right in there from Denard Span. Inside the numbers with STG Inc. Toughest guys to strike out. Denard Span over 11 ABs in between Ks this year. He's only fanned 22 times all season. in 230 at bats.
I always think that's a misleading stat. Sometimes guys get in that category that are first pitch hackers and get the at bat over with early, but that's not the case with Denard Span. That's very accurate. He'll fight you. Sticks his nose in there with 2 strikes, fouls a lot of pitches off. He's had some great at bats this year with 2. People say that about Vladimir Guerrero. He never strikes out. Well, guess what? He never hit with 2 strikes. He always put the ball in play in the first pitch.
And with 2 strikes, 278, real close to his season's batting average. And Span will lift one to right. Amarista is out to run it down. That'll be the second out of the inning. Just want to give a shout out to a great Nats fan and his family here in San Diego. His name is Navy Captain John Beaver. Well, that's not his whole name. He became a Navy captain. But John just got promoted to the Chief of Staff for the Commander, U.S. 3rd Fleet here in San Diego. So with all the Marines in the ballpark, we thought we'd give a shout out to a good Virginia guy who's a Navy captain, and our best in his new position to John Beaver, his wife Angie, and their son Jackie. Big Nats fans. Spent the entire winter at the Naval Air Station in Norfolk and back out here on a really tough assignment in San Diego.
Someone's got to do it.
That's right. And congrats on the new position, Captain. And that ball hit out of play to the right side for Kevin Franzen. Base hit last time. Kevin got the rally going in the 3rd inning with a hot shot off the glove of Chase Headley. 4 hits later, the Nats had a 3-run inning and a 6-0 lead. And Tim Stauffer is a guy who gets out there and he works quickly. He throws strikes. He's a valuable guy for the Padres in this long relief role. As mentioned, on April 24th, 2 1/3 against the Nats to help them win that extra inning game at Nationals Park. 32-year-old veteran's been in the big league since '05. 0-2 to Franzen. Kevin would make it to the big leagues 1 year later, '06 with the Giants. Tough to get the ball by him right now.
Filling in on the Giants broadcast for Kevin Franzen's first home run right here at Petco Park against the Padres.
Where'd he hit it?
Left center field.
Nasty breaking ball, swing and a miss. And that's it for the Nats. First time they go in order this afternoon. Middle of the 4th. That's the start of India. Right downtown here in San Diego. It's all Nats. Wagon moment in history. Some kid out of San Diego on this day 4 years ago took on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Electric atmosphere at Nationals Park. What was that, 2 years before the first playoff game? Well, it felt like a playoff game. Steven Strasburg was amazing against the Buccos. I can't remember what inning it was, but he walked off after striking out the side, and I think I said, he can't be this good. That night he was.
How many times did he hit triple digits in that game? A few, right?
And you saw the guy dancing down into the dugout before he got there, a handshake, Pudge Rodriguez. It was so great that Pudge was with our ball club at that time to take Strasburg through those early starts. Pitching to a Hall of Famer. Top of the order, bottom of the fourth for the Padres with Everth Cabrera. Left side Desmond on the run. Bounces it. He knows if he gets it close, it's a pick at first. 6-3, they team up again.
Well, he meant to bounce that one. They go into the hole, and he gives Adam LaRoche a nice long hop right here, and this is by design. The first one not by design, but you see the long hop right there, a much easier pick for LaRoche. You used to see this on turf all the time where guys would use the AstroTurf. But Cabrera slipping out of the box and didn't finish strongly right there as he crossed the base, grabbed his leg.
Their leadoff guy 0 for 11 in this series. Here's Seth Smith.
Fastball command has just been astounding for Jordan in this game so far.
He's got the curveball working. 79 right in there.
You know what I've noticed too from Jordan the last couple of starts? Not working quite as fast. At times he gets that breakneck pace out there to where I think he gets a little too ahead of himself. You see him pausing between pitches, taking his time, still working at a great clip, but just not out of control fast like he gets sometimes. And he's told me there's been times when I've had to slow myself down. You see him kind of walk around the mound, but just look at the time he's taking right now. He's rubbing up the baseball, slowing it down just enough at his pace. Deep breath, get on the mound, get the sign. So almost at a normal pace where sometimes it's way too fast.
And he's been ahead of so many hitters here. A pitcher can also get in too much of a hurry to end an at bat. Today, not a problem.
Yeah.
Great strike to total pitches ratio. Roughly 3 out of every 4 pitches have been right there. Goes with a breaking ball, backdoor. Kevin Franzen right there. 11 in a row to start the game.
You can bring a group gathering to Nats Park this season if you want. Group seats are great for company outings, family reunions, or special events. The tickets start at $9 for a group of 25 or more. Call the number on your screen or go to nats.com/groups. There's some groups on the grass.
They had a big kids' day out there this morning.
I think that's where I'd want to watch a game. Either the rooftop of the Western Metal Supply Company or the grass out in right field.
Bring your binocs if you're going to right center.
I've never been a fancy seat guy. I like the far away seats. There's big Fred Flintstone. There he is. Barney Rubble. Can't see him. He's a lot smaller. I'm reading swings. You can talk about results all you want. Read swings right now, and it'll tell you all you need to know about the stuff of Jordan Zimmerman. I watch a game from up there. I'm not afraid of heights.
They have totally revitalized this area of San Diego with this ballpark. remember, and this park opened in '04. You come here, '05, '06, nothing but cranes out there.
Birds?
No.
Oh.
The big tall metal things that help build buildings.
But that's not important right now.
And the 0-2, swing and a miss. And 4 innings in the book for Jordan Zimmermann. 6 strikeouts. Just nothing but strikes so far. It's all Jordan Zimmermann, 12 in a row to start the game. It's all Nats offense. 6 runs on 9 hits already. And here we go to the top of the 5th inning. Worth, LaRoche, and Ryan Zimmerman against Tim Stauffer. Gave up a 2-run single to Danny Espinosa, but then he's got 5 outs under his belt since. Worth 1 for 2, base hit to left center last time up. And Stauffer with a fastball at 90 right in there. No balls, 2 strikes. And now Worth will serve one the other way.
He can hit.
What a great exhibition of taking what the pitcher gives you and then using it to your advantage. 3 for 8 in the series with these 2 hits today. Inside the numbers with Jeep. 3rd inning. That's their 12th 3-run or more inning since the end of May. And they had 1 in 10 games prior to that. How about that? So crooked numbers, Matt Williams' best friend right now.
The rest of the league is saying, uh-oh. It's the ball club that everybody thought the Nats would be out of spring training. The band's back together pretty much, with the exception of a few guys. National League saying, uh-oh, I didn't know the Giants. They're paying close attention to this series.
Way inside, almost hit LaRoche on the sleeve. And the count's 1-1.
You can see the Beast tomorrow, too, by the way.
Michael Morse.
Excited about that.
He of 13 home runs and 42 RBIs.
Hey, walked him off last night, too.
He is 3rd in the league in homers and 3rd in runs batted in. He has just really pumped up that Giants offense. Angel Pagan healthy. He's been a catalyst for them. So there are those 10 home runs here. Now we talked about Friday night, tied for the most by anybody who hasn't played for San Diego. And that time Stauffer gets him his second strikeout. And the first out here in the 5th inning. For the achiever in UPNC Bank, with our minor league report, we check in on Michael Taylor, 6-rounder from 09 out of Fort Lauderdale. Talented young man, speed, power, hitting .322 at AA Harrisburg. On base percentage great.
Those are numbers that'll see in September.
Yeah, and maybe Syracuse not too long from now.
He's ready. Call him up.
Right up there in the Eastern League power numbers, and had a chance to sit down with our Masson crew and interview him during spring training, and was so impressed with Michael Taylor, the player and the person.
He's got high strikeout numbers, but those are projected to go down as he matures, learns the strike zone a little bit better.
Ryan Zimmerman hits one right off the end of the bat. Base hit left field first time, leading off the second. With 2 men aboard in the third, hit a hot shot right at Alonso at first base. Line drive out. That was a breaking ball sitting upstairs. Couldn't get over the top of it. Counts 1 ball, 2 strikes. Atlanta and Arizona, they are scoreless in the top of the 5th over in Phoenix. After the Braves blew a couple of leads last night. Not a good night for the closers last evening at the top of the NL East.
Not a good night for the NL East. They went 0-5.
And that ball diving on Ryan Zimmerman. He strikes out. 3 of the last 4 hitters struck out by Tim Stauffer. And here's Ian Desmond.
390 feet. To the pull side today for Ian Desmond. So that's 835 feet of home runs in the last 2 minutes. Good speed, 97 miles an hour.
So he's got over 1/5 of a mile.
Yes.
Right thereabouts. And I'm really happy about the opposite field base hit he got the next time up. This guy stays on the ball. That batting average will just shoot up. Power numbers, very impressive. Now that time he pulled off trying to hit one to the Western Metal Supply Company.
Yes, just as impressive as the power numbers. I added that up in the middle. Look at that. I did that on my own on my scorecard while that ball was in the air. I added that up.
Between innings handed over, I will be checking that addition.
No calculator. 835.
Wow.
That's impressive.
And a pitch away. Desmond strikes out. Stauffer strikes out the side. The Nats have only stranded 3 runners today.
That's a base hit.
It's been a good ball game offensively. And now we'll see if that kid can reach base. Nobody else can against Zimmerman.
Bat flip. That's awesome. It's a hard 90 right there, getting down the first baseline. Forgot to touch first, but details. Don't worry about touching first. This is the epitome of run till they tag you, and I can watch stuff like this all day. Great stuff, guys.
That's good to know kids aren't watching major leaguers flip bats.
The influence that Yasiel Puig's had on our youth.
Well, we're not that far from L.A.
Well, he plays hard, too. He influences that way as well.
Here's Chase Headley. First pitch, ground ball, Adam LaRoche to the bag. 13 straight to start the game.
He's clicking on all cylinders.
Working beautifully with Jose Lobaton today. Wilson Ramos, day off after a night game, a long night game.
I point right to the run in the first inning. You give Jordan a lead. Go out there a little relaxed. Big ballpark. And you get 2 in the second, 3 in the third. Now you got a 6-run cushion, and do your thing. We'll watch.
Close.
Strike.
2-0. And this one popped up and playable. Kevin Franzen. 1 ball to the outfield so far. A fly ball to Zimmerman. Back in the first.
The Braves are coming to Nats Park June 19th through the 22nd. Can't miss it. It's the rivalry. We're coming to town, and we need you there wearing your red, and we need you loud. Get your game tickets by calling 202-675-NATS or visit national.com/tickets.
Yasmani Grandal. Struck out looking. Jordan worked the outside corner perfectly to him during that at bat. And he paints with a fastball there. Then he throws the hook, the 80, up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just read swings. I mean, the command is fantastic. The stuff is great, but just read swings. Tell you all you need to know.
Third inning took a while because Tim Stauffer, the pitcher, battled him like crazy, fouling off a few, full count. Other than that, quick frames. Swing and a foul tip.
My goodness.
5th inning is over. 7 strikeouts. And again, only 1 ball out of the infield in this one so far. We're going into the 6th. Zimmerman will bat after Espinosa and Lobaton. And Jordan flawless so far.
Just look at it. It's all you need to know. And it's time for your AT&T fan photo. There they are. That is Amber on the right and Eddie the Eagle, because he is way over his skis. And he's a Pirates fan. So we're just going to leave it like that. It's much better.
I remember Eddie the Eagle from the Olympics. That was amazing.
Outkicked the coverage.
He made it off the ramp every time. Danny Espinosa, perfect day so far. 2 for 2, pair of RBIs. 4 for 9 in the series. And now 9 for his last 20 over 6 games. And Stauffer goes off speed on him. Tim Stauffer has come on, retired 8 Nats, actually 7. 1 was a double play ball on 28 pitches. Trying to save the San Diego bullpen in a ball game where their starter went out after 2 1/3. Target away, and Espinosa tried to pull it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nats box. First inning run, span a double, stole a base, Franz in a ground ball. Zimmerman, Desmond, single homer in the second. 5 singles for 3 runs in the third, and Espinosa 2 of the 3 RBIs, Adam LaRoche the other. Espinosa taking a good hack straight back. Danny's batting average has reached the .230 mark. About a week and a half ago, it was threatening to go under 200, so he has heated things up. And his heavy bat at the bottom of this lineup has really made this ball club better. Off speed got him there. Really good changeup by Stauffer. He's retired 4 batters in a row and 5 of the last 6. It's on to San Francisco tomorrow night. Night games, 3 in a row. Strasburg, Vogelsong tomorrow. Pfister, Bumgarner Tuesday. Roark, Matt Cain Wednesday. Blake Trinan against Tim Hudson. Day game Thursday before the Nats move on to St. Louis. Welcome to the rest of our Masson family. Watched Oakland do some damage at the yards today. 11-1 A's. The Nats are in San Diego. And we have plenty to bring you up to date on, like a 6-0 lead and Jordan Zimmerman not allowing a base runner through his first 5 innings on the mound. He'll bat after Jose Lobaton here in the 6th.
Yeah, there's a story.
On the corner, 2-2. Lobaton a strikeout, 4.63 sharply hit double play ball, ended that 3-run 3rd inning. And the changeup, Stauffer's bread and butter pitch so far, floating outside. Padres celebrating Marines Appreciation Day here, and they're in their camos. Lobaton left field corner, but slicing foul.
Every Sunday here, Petco Park, Military Appreciation Day. Really does the military like the Nationals and the Padres. They both do a great job.
Marlins trying to close out a win at Chicago. 4-3 bottom of the 9th. 1 out to go for them. Nats Marlins in a virtual tie, a game behind Atlanta. 3-2 pitch again. Good at bat by Jose Lobaton. He goes to first with 1 out. That'll give Jordan Zimmerman. I mean, is it still the stage of a ball game? Up by 6, 6th inning. Is this a borderline area for the bunt?
Yeah, I was just thinking. I don't know. I don't think a double play would be the worst thing in the world right now. You want to keep that rhythm going, right? You talk to pitchers all the time when they get in that groove. They don't mind short innings. They want to get right back out there.
Well, he'll lay down a perfect punt, so he can go rest.
Watch how much time Denard Span takes right here.
Jordan Zimmerman's third sacrifice of the year, 31st of his career.
There's all kinds of ways, too. I mean, everybody knows leadoff hitter's going to take his time, let the pitcher get back to the dugout, get off his feet, get a cup of water, get some high fives first.
And Denard, as a rule, pretty slow into the box to start an AB anyway. Dig in with that back foot, get the front foot set. And work the count if he can. Fastball up.
Yeah, leading off most of my career, you take your time getting to the box after the pitcher makes it out and runs all the way to first. But the best way to buy him time is just to take a few pitches and not be afraid to hit with 2 strikes.
Not a lot of hits in this series. Span 2 for 12, but he has scored a couple of runs. He has walked. Real catalyst for the Nationals lately, still hitting around 350 his last 10 games. They're giving him that big gap in right center. He shot a ground ball through there last time, or first time up today, and got a double. Led to that run in the first. And the Stauffer changeup still solid. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That down on his legs thing you've been talking about, a little pigeon-toed stance, keeping him locked in down there. Can't get to it, and Stauffer continues to save the San Diego bullpen in a lopsided ball game. Bottom of the 6th, downtown San Diego, perfect day. I'll leave it at that.
Hits, 6 runs on 10 hits. Ian Desmond, 2-run home run. Danny Espinosa doing his thing. And we talk about the swings and reading swings. This is what I mean. Jordan Zimmerman has tremendous stuff today, but watch the swings that the Padres hitters are getting off. I mean, that almost hit him in the hands. See him reaching. You see guys just taking funky swings left and right. There's been a few swing and misses as well. So the stuff from Jordan, the command, the control, fastball, slider, curve, all in the strike zone, getting ahead of guys. Just doing his thing. It's been fun to watch so far.
Yeah, Geico highlights a bunch of bad swings.
Bad swings are good stuff.
And that's good for the Nats. Cameron Maybin robbed of a hit on a great play by Ian Desmond leading off the third. A slow chopper that Desmond had to scream in on bare hand and throw to LaRoche, and then Adam picked it beautifully on the other end. That's as close as the Padres have been. This ball right field. Jason Worth got a good jump, and he's now waiting for it for the first out.
Well, you got a guy pounding the strike zone, you're going to get good defense behind you. So Ian Desmond, this might turn out to be a huge play. Good pick by LaRoche. And another play right here. He bounced this one on purpose. So the combo has been Desmond and LaRoche across the middle on one hoppers.
Number 8 hitter, Alex Samarista. He bounced out to LaRoche, and Tommy Medica waiting next to hit for Tim Stauffer. And right-hander Kevin Quackenbush to take over, top 7. Count on one hand the times Jordan Zimmerman has been behind a hitter today.
Got to locate a fastball. Amarista's a hacker. He's swinging.
Yeah, he was first pitch swinging back in the third when he grounded out. That's right in there with the heater. Counts even 2-2. Nissan will track it.
Well, you talk about locating a fastball. Amarista, a guy that loves to swing, and he put it on the corner. Perfect.
That's a base hit to right over LaRoche, who had no chance. And so Jordan Zimmerman's perfect game after 5 1/3 over. And it always seems to be the contact guys who make something like that happen in an effort like this.
Well, it's a good pitch. Got in on him, fisted it over Adam LaRoche. Right where he wanted it, maybe a little elevated, but Amarista got enough wood on it to break up the no-hitter and the perfect game. And you wouldn't know from Jordan whether he's given up 5 runs or just gave up a perfect game.
Tommy Medica, the pinch hitter for San Diego, 4 for 11 with an RBI in that role. And a fastball right to the outside corner at 93.
Well, I thought he was going to do it. I told you we were filling out the lineup cards today that I smelt a no-hitter. And he had the stuff, the command. I mean, he always has the stuff, but the command today with the fastball. I mean, how many times has Jose Lobato moved his glove on a fastball? I mean, look at that. It's just like Greg Maddux throwing 95, 96. Watch Lobaton's glove. This is what has happened with the fastball all day. Hasn't had to move it. Just pinpoint accuracy from Jordan Zimmerman. Not just with the fastball, but the curveball as well.
Oh, wow. Great 0-2 pitch. Trying to get Medica to maybe roll over a ground ball.
I hit the target.
Home plate umpire Jordan Baker, 2 years of big league time. He's had quite a game to call himself today. And now he's not going to give that side of the plate either. Well, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
He hit the target twice in a row, didn't get the call.
Strack had that one, maybe not quite a whole baseball off the corner, but Baker had been giving the outside strike earlier.
Well, I wonder if it was still a perfect game if he would have got those calls.
2-2. And Medica hangs in there on a breaking ball. Padres box score. You just saw it. Target in. Got it. 94 up and in. Strikeout number 8. 2 outs in the 6th inning.
Just moving the fastball around. In, out. Last one in. Medica with a big hack with 2 strikes on the elevated 94 from Jordan Zimmerman. And just a hair late. Season high is 9 against the Braves on April 4th.
Yeah, his first start. Just missing that one. 7 at Miami, couple of starts after that. And then 5 against these Padres, April 24th. And 7 at Houston, April 30th. Hasn't struck out more than 5 since. So this is a different kind of day for Jordan. He has so many contact outs lately, but today the stuff's so good, the command's so good. Hard to make contact.
Stuff plus command against a team that's having trouble offensively. It felt like it might happen today.
And that was a bad ball swing by Cabrera, who has been hacking at just about everything in this series. As mentioned earlier, 0 for 11, 4 punch outs. And he's trying to bust up an 0 for 14. Lobaton sets up away, and the pitch is right there on the outside edge.
So I'm going to bet a lot of money this could be a high fastball. and when you talk about,
why wouldn't it be?
You get into ruts as a hitter, and you'll have teammates say, lay off the high fastball, lay off the high fastball. And from a sports psychology standpoint, it's all your brain is hearing is high fastball, and you keep ingraining it into your brain. It's easy to see up there for a left-handed hitter, but the Nats have climbed the ladder in Cabrera this whole series with 2 strikes, and they're throwing a change. Shows you what I know.
Well, you and Everett fanned on that, and I'm going right back to the dugout with you. This one into the top of the 7th. Zimmerman brilliant, 6-0 Nationals. Of the Washington Nationals, and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. On to the top of the 7th inning. Brilliant day here at Petco Park. Padres a little deeper into their bullpen with Franzen, Worth, and LaRoche coming up. Our Freight Rail Works 7th inning do-up. What they've done on the road since the beginning of last year. Kevin Franzen making his 21st start with the Nats this year. Worth, home or road, producing, as is Adam LaRoche. Right-hander Kevin Quackenbush for the Padres. Inning and 2/3, scoreless, hitless, with a strikeout on Friday night. Right-hander from Land O'Lakes, Florida, 8th rounder 3 years ago. Franzen swings through a fastball, boring in on him.
You can see a fastball, a curveball, and split for the out pitch from Quackenbush.
And that ball well hit by Franzen, hooking away from the left fielder and unable to catch up with it, Carlos Quentin. Franzen, second base, big round to the bag, checks in with a leadoff 7th inning double. Franzen 2 for 4.
Super sub. Might not always show up in the box score with Kevin Franzen what he does when he's filling in. It might be a good play, a sacrifice bunt, grinding out a walk, getting a guy over, but today it does. A couple of hits for Kevin, single in the 3rd inning, now a double here in the 7th. Just the kind of player that finds ways to beat you. It's not always about the average.
Contact, RBI, ground ball, 1st inning today. Here's Worth, 2 for 2. Lately, popped up his first time today. And against Quackenbush, 0 for 1 career. Good job IDing the breaking ball. It's 1-1. So many guys warming up. And a good fastball to the outer half evens the count. Just looking at the change-ups, the breaking balls, seeing the ball well. Great discipline in that strike zone for Worth. And then seeing one off the plate, taking it the other way.
Celebrate Father's Day with the Peanuts on Sunday, June 15th. They're honoring fathers with a special Heroes Day at Pfister Stadium. Superheroes Day, not just heroes, superheroes.
That's what dads are.
Yeah, 703-590-2311 or go to peanuts.com.
And a 3-2 with nobody out. Quackenbush working slowly, and he will strike out Worth, who is ready to toss his bat to head for first. Instead, the first out in the 7th. Mercedes-Benz will track it.
Let's see where it lands on pitch. I got a little run back to it. Perfect pitch, hit the corner.
And that'll bring in Adam LaRoche. 1 for 3. An RBI single going the other way back in the 3rd. On base percentage updated to .416. I mean, LaRoche gets on base 1 time out of 3, and his on base percentage goes down.
Swinging at strikes, taking balls. Just that relaxed approach where he's getting the foot down early, keeping his head still, allows you to make good decisions on a consistent basis.
Well, 21 of his RBIs. He's driven in 31 with runners in scoring position. Came into this ball game over his last 11 with those OPS numbers, .972 on base percentage plus slugging. Measuring his numbers since his return for the DL, as well as those of Ryan Zimmerman. 3 homers, 9 RBIs. And that's in 12 games now. And that went right in there.
It's pretty amazing what LaRoche has done off the DL. Really hasn't missed a beat. Ryan Zimmerman the same way so far. You know, I've always thought that when you're injured, you come back, it's going to take you a while to get your swing back. Maybe 20, 30 at-bats that you really have to battle and grind to get your timing back. Those guys, it hasn't mattered. Either one of them. I guess that's the hitters club. Hitters hit, and they don't need much time. Mere mortals, they need some at-bats to get the strike zone back, see rotation, get your timing, all that stuff. Hitters will tell you the All-Star break throws them off. Yeah, just having 3 or 4 days off.
2-2 to LaRoche, and he's going to be called out. On a pitch low in the zone.
Quackenbush has had good command. Watch this, another pinpoint fastball right in the bottom corner of pitch track. Same as the pitch to Jason Worth, just the other side of the plate.
So just after 3 o'clock local time here in San Diego. Bobby Burke's record is safe. He is still the last Washington-based pitcher to throw a no-hitter. August 8th, 1931 for the Senators against the Red Sox at Griffith Stadium. Jordan Zimmerman perfect for 5 1/3 today before giving up a single to Alexi Amarista. Then he went out and got the next 2 batters. And still a chance for a great low hit game. Ryan Zimmerman hit the ball hard twice today. Base hit to left. Line drive to first base in the 3rd.
Little known fact about Burke, he had chipped beef and scotch for breakfast that morning.
Is that baseballalcoholreference.com? Where'd you find that?
No, that's a commercial.
Okay.
For Barbasol.
2-0. And that's on the corner. Pretty good late cut on that offering. So updating Ryan's numbers since coming off the DL. 7 for 23. 3 RBIs. Today's his 6th ball game since coming back. Top of the 7th inning. Big crowd. Nothing much to cheer for today. 3-1. Zimmerman will take the walk. 2 on, 2 out for Ian Desmond, who's been putting on quite a power show.
I remember our DC area Lexus dealers are donating $250 to the Children's National Medical Center for every Tater and Nats player hits this season. So Ian Desmond has done his fair share in this series. Lexus, the pursuit of perfection.
At Desmond in this series. 2 homers, 4 batted in. In over his last 14 games now, 6 home runs and 12 RBIs. Outfield plays Desmond exactly like they did Ryan Zimmerman. Absolute straight away. Ballpark with big gaps. Don't get ahead of him, he'll kill you. 538 on an 0-1 count. He goes jumping on that one. And this fly ball carries almost to the track out there for Seth Smith. The Nats get a double and a walk. They've stranded 6. Trolley goes right behind home plate here at Petco Park in beautiful San Diego. Jordan Zimmerman now, a one-hitter, back to work. By PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. By your local DC area Land Rover retailers. Visit DC area LandRover.com for special lease and finance offers. And by Ocean City, Maryland. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City. Book now at OCOcean.com. It's all Nats at the 7th inning stretch here at Petco Park. Washington trying to win its 32nd game of the year, and tomorrow it's on to San Francisco. Steven Strasburg, San Diego native, missed the Pods in this series, but he gets the Giants tomorrow night. Last 8 starts, a 1.99 ERA. Ryan Vogelsong for San Francisco. He's won 3 in a row, 4-2 on the year. 9:30 Nats Extra, Masson 2 Monday night. That's the first of a 4-game series. 3 night games and then a matinee on Wednesday afternoon. So a taken care of business afternoon here in San Diego. So far so good for the Nats starter.
Yeah, Jordan Zimmerman just on cruise control this whole game, elevating the fastball when he wants to, throwing strikes to a corner. And command isn't always about throwing just strikes, it's throwing quality strikes. And when Jordan Zimmerman's shaving corners like he has today and throwing balls when he wants to and strikes when he needs to, the combination for an amazing outing, and that's what we've seen so far. Toyota Case for Kids. The DC area Toyota dealers want to help children and their families by making a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season.
9 of them today. 78 pitches, 56 strikes, and Seth Smith will lead off here for the Padres in the 7th. First pitch fastball, well hit. Worth can't get to it. It gets by him. Looking like 3 bases for Seth Smith. Looked like Jason Worth was going to get there. and be able to catch that on the fly.
Well, you're not supposed to speculate as a broadcaster, but I'm going to right now. That wrist thing was the reason that Jason Worth didn't want to dive for this. And he always slides to the glove. And you see him start to leave his feet and then just kind of back off a little bit. That might cost Jordan Zimmerman the shutout. But we've seen Jason Worth do the slide move on that play and make it. He just kind of pulled up at the end, and it went all the way to the wall for a leadoff triple here in the 7th.
In a 6-0 ball game, okay with that. Don't need Jason Worth re-injuring a wrist and being out again like he was a couple of months 2 years ago. Jordan Zimmerman against Carlos Quentin now is flied to left and struck out swinging. Over eager for an RBI. He swings at a curveball way outside. A shake and a 2-1 pitch. Quentin ground ball to third. Runner comes down the line, stops. Comes down the line, stops again. As Kevin Franzen makes the play for the first out.
Well, it's the only place he could have put it and play in the infield. Maybe besides a comebacker where it wouldn't have scored the run. Down by 6, no way Smith can go. Franzen looks him back. Throws it at first, and if Seth Smith decided to go on that decoy, that would have not been a smart move, down by 6 runs.
Pitch count still great. 1 out, 7th inning. Chase Headley. Man who drove in over 100 2 years ago. And on the 8th of June, he has 20. Batting under 200. That is jammage, and that ball goes straight up. Who wants it? Franzen, right in front of the mound. It's a pretty good play. It's a long way to go.
Jordan Zimmerman was like, "Can I play?"
Well, we know Doug Fister would have waved everybody off on that play, and Jordan thought about it.
Well, he's trying to pick up Jason Worth right now, preserve the shutout. So he gets a ground ball to third, a pop-up right back to the mound. Franzen taking charge, had the angle with the sun. And Jordan trying to wiggle out of this thing and keep that goose egg on the board for the Padres.
And 2 outs now, Yonder Alonso. Yeah, somebody said 80 on the corner at the knees. And a ball well hit to center. Right at Denard's span.
Nicely done.
So the Nationals were defending for 2 outs to give San Diego a run if they would take it. Padres, story of their season. They couldn't grab an RBI with a runner at third and nobody out. Jordan Zimmermann following up his 8 innings against the Phillies and a 6-0 lead for the Nats into the 8th inning. You made a great point earlier. 1 out from a win last night, possible series sweep. It gets grabbed right away from you. Devastating loss. They come right back out today and take control.
Well, it's been a ball club that's fought all season long, even when they weren't at full strength. They've been resilient all season long after a tough loss. I mean, you talk about being in that clubhouse after a tough loss. Sometimes you'll see a dead clubhouse, quite frankly, with other teams. This team, not the case. It's just a new day. Here we go. And they came out and scored 6 runs early, and Jordan Zimmermann has been the story. I mean, he's back, folks. The last 2 starts, the command, not wild in the strike zone, but to a corner. Early in the year, he's been up and out over the plate. Now he's pitching 2 corners. And, I think throwing balls when he wants to, strikes when he has to. And the tempo for me is slowed down just enough to where he's under control. And it's been fun to watch. Danny Espinosa going to lead off the top of the 8th.
And Danny batting from the right side. Troy Patton, left-hander, over here in the deal for Nick Hundley. Second appearance of the series. He pitched a scoreless 9th here against Hairston, Span, and Franzen on Friday night. And Danny Espinosa will foul one straight off to the right side, upper deck. Another good day for Danny Espinosa. 2 for 3, couple of RBIs. In the series, 4 for 10. He's batted in 3. And he reaches out and strokes one into right field for a 3-hit day. Always great to see Espinosa going the other way. And now the march toward maybe 240 or so with that batting average gets underway.
He's been doing a nice job of just putting the ball in play. You see he's fooled, got the foot down, threw it out there to right field.
That's a dozen base hits for the Nats today, and Jordan Zimmermann on deck here in the 8th inning.
I think his second hit was left-handed, so he went base hit right-handed off Stoltz. Then he went first pitch off Stauffer, left-handed. And he's got another hit right-handed, so both sides of the plate for Danny.
Jose Lobaton 0 for 2, walked last time. Ton of hitting room right side. And that pitch on the inside edge, 1 ball, 1 strike. Nissan will track it.
Jose looking to join the party right here. The Nats with 6 runs and 12 hits. And I think he's the only starter without a knock. We're going to have to get a new bat. That one did not die a hero.
Middle of the 6th inning over in Phoenix. Braves have a couple of runs. They lead the Diamondbacks 2-0. Marlins won their game at Chicago today to avoid a sweep. And we're heading to San Francisco. The Giants 20 games over 500, leading the Mets 4-3. Best record in baseball. Oakland won its 39th today. And Lobaton unable to reach that. 1 out.
You can follow the Nationals every game with MLB.com app bat on your favorite mobile phone or tablet. Get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv, game of the day, and more. Download on the App Store. Visit Nationals.com today.
And Zimmermann squaring around to bunt again, and it goes foul. Sacrifice bunt, last time up. And that's a curveball coming in on him. It took a stab at it, maybe as much self-defense as anything. And with one out, the count 0-2.
Jordan, uncharacteristic of him today at the plate. To bunt. The pitch is not in the strike zone. But everything else has been off the charts amazing.
Not in a hurry as a pitcher, in a bit of a hurry today as a bunter. And that breaking pitch stays outside. Swing and a miss. On a pitch way outside, 2 outs. Denard's Band coming up, and let's check in with Dan as we get ready to take Matt Williams with us to San Francisco.
Guys, while Williams and the Nationals are still here in San Diego, here's a cool story to pass along. After playing the '97 season with the Indians, Williams and his then agent flew into Cleveland to meet with the Indians Brain Trust and request a trade so that he could be closer to his kids in Arizona. The Indians sent an intern to the airport to pick Williams up. That intern was Josh Burns, who's now the general manager of the Padres. Williams ended up working with Burns in Arizona, got to know him and his family well, and now they're competing against each other here in San Diego.
Yeah. Be nice to the guy who picks you up at the airport. Could be your boss someday.
Or be nice to nerds. I mean, early on in their career. Never know. I was one. Just never know what's going to happen. Be nice to everybody.
And a foul, straight back.
Best I ever saw at that was Jason Worth. He treats everybody the same way. Jason Giambi the same. There he is. Jason Giambi treated the kids that shined your shoes like the owner of the team, and everybody in between the same. One of the nicest guys I've ever been around, the best teammate I ever had. And it's infectious. That's why you never know.
Span, another foul, straight back.
It's been nice to you every day, Clark. Just never know.
Yeah. Okay, I got your dinner on the charter tonight.
Oh, thanks. See? You're nice to everybody. I'll get you a candy bar when we get on the plane.
Well, I could always drop the PB&J for one trip and go with a candy bar. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Denard. 1 for 4 today, a double, a run after a steal of third. And he stays alive in this AB here in the 8th inning. Denard slow getting back in. Troy Patton working to him. Short lead by Danny Espinosa. 6-run game, 8th inning. And a swing and a miss. A lot of strikeouts today. The Nationals have now struck out 13 times, but they have 6 runs on the board. Jordan poised for another frame. On to the bottom of the 8th inning here, Petco Park in San Diego. Jordan Zimmermann has given up 2 hits today, 9 strikeouts, ERA plunging to the best in the history of baseball, believe it or not, 1.62 career. In June, his Jeep takes us inside the numbers.
That's just crazy. Look at those numbers.
Just wondering, were there a lot of rainouts in June of 1968, the year that nobody had a high ERA?
That's 150 innings in June, too, so it's not like a small sample size for Jordan.
Yeah. The hitter is Yasmani Grandal, the San Diego catcher. He has struck out twice, looking to end the 2nd, swinging to end the 5th. Just now arriving at 90 pitches in the 8th inning. And Zimmermann gets a fly ball to left center. Denard Span cruising, waiting for it for the first down. When Jordan threw 8 innings against the Phillies 5 days ago, 102 pitches, when he shut them out on 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. The number's even better today. There was 1 ball hit out of the infield until the 6th inning.
He got some run support too his last 2 starts. 7-0 last time out against the Phillies. 6 here today against the Padres.
Cameron Maybin. That bouncer to short. Great play by Desmond in the 3rd, and a routine fly ball to Worth in the 6th. And here comes a fly ball down the right field line. This is not routine. It is foul, and LaRoche unable to reach. This is a ballpark where there is considerable room. A very wide warning track going right down into the corner there. The stands really don't pinch into the foul pole here. One count with the heater. 92 here in the 8th inning, right in there. Struck out the first 2 batters of the game, 3 of the first 4, 4 of the first 6, and got himself in a great way early with a nice lead. Target in again, right there on the inside edge. Double-digit strikeouts now for the first time this year.
I mean, watch the glove. Doesn't move. That's been the story of the day. Jose Lobaton's glove has not moved at all because Jordan Zimmermann's control has been just that good. 10th strikeout, season high.
And look at the snap on that breaking ball late in the game. Yeah, previous high, as we mentioned, 9 in his first start of the season. That was 5 innings against the Braves in a 2-1 loss.
We talk about how the offense is clicking a lot, but all of a sudden Steven Strasburg's starting to do his thing. Doug Fister has been fantastic.
That's been like picking up a great free agent about 5 starts ago.
Tanner Roark at this time was a reliever. This time last year was a reliever in Syracuse. Now he's turned out to be one of the better stories in the National League. And Jordan Zimmermann locking it in. Look out.
And Gio back in the next week and a half, we hope. He buried the 0-2 breaking ball, the 1-2 breaking ball, pardon me, and the count's even now. 2-2. Pitcher spot next.
Adam Kilgore was telling me before the game yesterday that a year ago, yesterday, Tanner Roark threw 1 inning of relief for the Syracuse Chiefs. What a difference a year makes, right?
And what a difference in Jordan Zimmermann today in terms of the strikeouts. And now 2 consecutive starts through 8. Might Matt Williams turn him loose for a possible 6th career complete game? Jordan Zimmerman, 72. 72 strikes of his 100 pitches today.
I like 11 Ks. That's a good number.
That's a great number. So he keeps doing it. The Nats looking great. This one to the top of the ninth with Franzen, Worth, and LaRoche. And Washington will face left-hander Alex Torres, who pitched a scoreless ninth here last night. He didn't walk a man. That was Adam LaRoche leading off the inning, got 3 outs in a row. And then Soriano couldn't hold the 1-run lead. Padres eventually won that game, and now the Nats in a great position to win the series. Well, 2 out of 3 from Texas last weekend. 3-game sweep of the Phillies. 2 out of 3 available here. And then on to a tough 4-gamer at AT Park.
One of my favorite parts about covering this club and broadcasting these games is when you're filling out your lineup card every day and you put the starting pitcher in, you're thinking to yourself, today could be the day that I see a no-hitter, a perfect game, regardless of who it is. I think it doesn't matter which one. And Tanner Roark, probably the least likely because he's a pitch-to-contact guy, even though he struck out 11 Padres the other night. But even he had a perfect game for 5 innings against the Padres. So, I mean, it's just a cool feeling to think that you might witness history, and I feel like it's only a matter of time.
Ball bounced up the middle to his left. Everth Cabrera. Well played on the run for the first down. Nobody throwing in the Nationals bullpen. There is a shutout to be had. Jordan Zimmerman has 5 career complete games, and 2 of them giving up no runs. Worth is next, and then LaRoche here in the top of the ninth. By the way, the Diamondbacks have come up big. It's now the end of the 7th, and a 2-0 deficit is now a 6-2 Arizona lead. There could be a 3-way tie for first place tonight in the East. And we're going to hold you down on the plane and make you look at the standings if that happens this evening. Mr. I don't look at the standings till August.
I don't. Well, August? Oh, you're being silly. I'll look at them around the All-Star break. That's where all the fun starts.
That's far enough along.
So I'll start looking at the wild card, too. Well, if things stay the way they are, you could build tomorrow night as a battle of 2 first-place teams.
Worth 2 for 4 today. Base hit to left. Another one to right. And how about 3 for 5? So he joins Danny Espinosa with 3 hits today. And Jason Worth's 283 batting average on the rise. He's up around 290 now. Using the ballpark.
He's a hit collector. You know, sometimes they're off the wall or in the seats. Bloopers, line drives. You know, extending on a changeup. He just knows how to hit and collect hits.
Yeah, Worth at 291 now. Adam LaRoche 1 for 4 with an RBI hit. The Nats have out-hit the Padres 13-2. Big shift on right side of the infield, very crowded. And LaRoche hammers one out to right center. Maben to his left, watching it, and he has it right at the 396 mark. LaRoche close to his 11th career homer at Petco Park.
Didn't quite have the sound, might have been toward the end. But with all the backspin that he creates with the high finish, you're thinking this might carry out here, especially into the daytime. This ballpark plays a little more fair during the day. Nice play by Cameron Maben, going back right up against the wall and makes the play.
Heard a lot of O's from the crowd as that one left the bat. A lot of people thought that was gone. Close, and here's Zimmerman. Ryan on base twice today with a base hit and a walk. Ryan's batting average right at .321, where it started the day. Playing in his 16th game overall this year. And a hitter's count. That one diving right to the end of the barrel. 2 balls, 1 strike. It has been a lot of fun watching him in left field so far.
It has.
He's made 2 or 3 really nice running plays.
He looked real comfortable today. Actually had a little style to it.
And that one back in the first inning.
The longer he's out there, he's going to learn how to have a little style to it. He goes from reading balls off the bat, making the play, thinking real hard out there to, I got this. It's not going to be long if not already. Let's watch him take ground balls at first base today, and he was throwing great, feeding double plays from first base before this game started, throwing bullets right on the money. So I don't think there's any doubt about the arm strength right now for Ryan. But he looks smooth at first base today.
He's had 1 ball hit to him in left. Kevin Franzen's had 5 hit to him. Just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Franzen a little busier at third. And a 3-2. Jason Worth, big lead off and running. Way outside. 2 on, 2 out.
And maybe if you're wondering why Ryan hasn't played third the last couple of days with Anthony Rendon out, well, he needs to learn how to play left field. So you don't want him going back and forth to where you just want to establish him out there, take some balls off the bat. Nice relaxing day for number 6. And B, I don't know if he's ready to throw across with his thumb the way it is, but he looked good throwing today from first. I'll tell you that. I was impressed.
Anthony Rendon resting and watching the guy who plays to the left of him slug away Ian Desmond. Well, he's gone right center, straightaway center, and that's the second time today he tried to go scoreboard left field.
Well, he's always swings hard, but it's more under control lately. And he's feeling a little slower with the feet, and he's able to control the violence of the swing, if that makes any sense. Early on the season, it was just everything flying out, shoulder, head, trying to hit 4-run home runs every time up with nobody on, and now it's a little more compact and controlled.
And that went over but low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 hits today. You saw the batting average in the series. 4 for 11 with the 4 runs batted in. On base 5 times. And there's a good changeup at 83.
But even that swing right there, under control. Just a pretty good pitch. The most impressive at bat by Desmond might have been when he went to right field his second time up, shooting the ball the other way.
As you know, that's where they're going to pitch him after that bomb before. And a 1-2 now. We love looking at home runs over and over.
Yeah, show me some taters, especially in this ballpark. And just look at the extension after contact, how long he gets. All good power hitters are short to the ball and then long after with the follow through. Get that extension, create backspin. The bat speed, too. Unbelievable.
1 ball and 2 strikes. In the bottom of the 9th, the Padres will have their pitcher spot due up. Most likely Will Venable, and then the top of the order, Cabrera and Smith. Target away on 1-2. That's a chopper, third base side. Torres guns out Ian Desmond. Inning over. The Nats will strand 9 today, but they score 6 runs on 13 hits. And now let's see if Jordan Zimmermann can't close it out. Personal history, yeah. In his career, he has completed 5 ball games, 2 of them shutouts, 72% strike efficiency today, and he'll face 9-1-2. Braves have picked up a run, but they're still trailing 6-3 in Arizona. Diamondbacks trying to knock off the Braves and create a 3-way tie in the East. Marlins have already won their ball game. Will Venable 1 for 15 career against Jordan Zimmermann. Pops it straight back.
That's happened a lot today. We've seen teams come out and swing early in the count against Jordan, but when you're hitting your spots and you're locating as well as he has, you see a lot of first pitch foul balls or a lot of first pitch outs. When you miss out over the plate, those turn into hits. Hasn't been the case here today.
He's pounding the fastball in there at 93. Jordan Zimmermann in his past has a 1-hitter to his credit and a 2-hitter. Given up 2 so far today. And that slider fouled straight back.
And when you're facing a club that's down offensively, you can get away with a few mistakes here and there.
Fastball up, busted bat. Danny Espinosa gets out of the way of the bat and goes right over to the ball.
Pitch number 105, still breaking bats.
Impressive.
I mean, he has just had electric stuff here tonight. Late hop on the fastball. We've been talking about command a lot, but the late life on the 92 to 95. He's been knocking bats out of hands all day long.
Steven Strasburg and Ryan Vogelsong tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. Nats Extra, Johnny and Ray at 9:30. Should be quite a series in San Francisco. Away from Cabrera, ball 1.
Did you bring your warm clothes?
I did pack versatile style on this trip. The perfect weather of San Diego, the cool of San Fran, and the hot of St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
Could be steamy there next weekend.
Leave your Speedo here in San Diego, put the park on tomorrow night.
You know, they say some things should just stay in the clubhouse. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Everett Cabrera still trying to hit the high heater. Tough to score runs when your leadoff guy is 0 for his last 15. Got to that one to foul it off. In the history of the Nats, there have been 2 one-hitters. Gio last year at New York. Jordan against the Reds, April of 2013. And then Jordan had a 2-hitter last September 20th against Miami. So he's at 110. Second time he's reached that level this season. Look at the changeup he pulls out. Diving down and away. Strikeout number 12.
Boy, just a masterpiece. An absolute masterpiece from Jordan Zimmermann. It doesn't matter what pitch. I mean, pick a pitch, any pitch. And what a thrill for Jose Lobaton to ride this one today. It really doesn't matter what he's put down, but he's done a nice job of setting hitters up regardless. But I mean, whatever finger Jose Lobaton puts down, Jordan Zimmermann is not only agreed, he's hit the glove.
Nats have struck out 30 Friars in this series. And then he goes first pitch changeup to Seth Smith. By the way, the Nats had another 2-hitter. Forgot about Pedro Estacio back in August of 06 against Atlanta. So 4 games in the history of this ball club, 2 hits or fewer. But nobody's been able to get through one with the no-no. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 strike for a series win. And there's Ian Desmond waiting for it. It's another gem for Jordan in San Diego today. His 3rd career shutout on complete game number 6.
Absolute domination from pitch number 1 to the end of the game. What an outing for Jordan Zimmermann. And the Nats have won 7 out of 9 now. They're swinging it, they're pitching, they're playing defense. And they may be one of the hottest teams in baseball heading into San Francisco with the best record.
Second time they win a 6-0 game in this series. And they're starting to rack up consecutive series wins.